There we go. I do believe we're live. So, I'll say indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. I thank you for joining me once again on another conscious evolution. I'm kind of happy that there's nobody here just yet, so I get to be silly with it. You just joined, did you? Hi. It's nice to have you. Today, we're having a conversation about the impermanence that we like. You've probably heard about this thing called impermanence. You've probably found yourself not liking it. Aging, impermanence. That ice cream you really like, and then it's finished. Impermanence. That amazing, life-changing trip that you went on, and then comes to an end. Impermanence. All right? Our relationship with impermanence, more often than not, I don't want to say is a bad one, because I don't like talking in goods and bads like that. But it would be, what's the right word? Poignant. Yes. Love, love, love. Love, 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 love to you. Too. Thank you, Melita, for joining us, dear friend. What a pleasure it is to have you here with us again. How about this impermanence that we like? How about that, Melita? You ever had some impermanence and was like, that's some good impermanence right there. This picture looks weird. I'm coming back in a second. Thank you for letting me know. I'm probably all squished. My face is probably all short and stuff. Be right back. Do I have long face again? Am I percentage-wise 5% attractive? Plus 5% attractives? You let me know, Sam. Give me A's, okays. Or give me tries agains. Your squishiness was impermanent. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about right now. And since we're on that whole rabbit hole, that's a good kind of impermanence. Right? If I was permanently squishified, I would not be a permanence we appreciate. Yes. But the fact that the squishifiedness was impermanent is a good thing. And that's what we're talking about today. Neck Davids, I stood in a home affairs line again today, trying to beget my passport. And usually the home lines, I only have 5 hours of sleep. You're gonna have to bear with me. Usually the home affairs line is long, excessively so, right? To the point where you're like literally standing outside the building in the sunlight, losing age, slowly decrepifying yourself, becoming a crusty ass. Stop, I'm sorry. But usually it's like that, where I'm just like, oh. I've sat on the ground, literally sat on the ground in that line with one of my scarves over my head, just to like protect my son from more sun damage. This time around, it was very painless. I think it helps that it's kind of like middle of the month, but I went and I essentially was indoors instantaneously. I then continued on to being in the little waiting area where a single person, there's like between 5 and 6 helping desks, there's one person in there helping everybody. And again, things go relatively quick. I have my photo taken, I go forward, I have my fingerprints scanned, and it's done, kind of vibes. And I'm like, isn't there more? Isn't there more for me to do? And she's like, nah, you just take that piece of paper, you go and pay your thing, and then we'll send you a message when your passport's ready. And I go, okay. That was kind of painless, I think to myself. Like usually the home affairs affair is like if you're lucky, 4 hours trip. Like I'm gonna be here for 4 hours. Let me lock in. This was 20 minutes and I was done. And I'm like, wow. And then I walk to the little payment window where I can now pay for the service that I requested, which is the reissuance of my passport. And then I wait. then I got to wait because the person that was supposed to man the like payment window was just not there. So I stood there at the payment window, staring into the abyss for 30 minutes. And I'm not even joking. 30 minutes, half an hour. I'm just like waiting there to pay my 30 bucks to get my passport reissued. And I'm just like kind of losing my mind. My phone was on low data. I kind of been using a lot of it, especially at the start of this month when we didn't have any internet. So I don't have a lot of data left, so I've not been using it to browse the internet. So I'm just like standing there, taking out my phone, realizing that I don't really have the means to use it, and putting it back in my pocket again, and then taking it out again and staring at it and being like, yep, it's still nothing to do here. I even like went and read some of my notes that I had in my freaking phone at one point. It was so frustrating. And then eventually I got to pay for my paperwork, right? And you're like, why are you sharing this information with us, Mel? I'm sharing it from this perspective of good impermanence, right? If I had to permanently wait in that little box to pay my pay my fees, to pay my dues, I would have probably have lost my mind. 30 minutes sounds like a blessing with those bureaucracy processings. That's the thing. That's the thing, Melita. Like the actual bureaucracy processors were like real quick, right? And as soon as it had to get to the point of them just like taking my money, which is as simple as put card, type in, release card, right? Money paid. Like that part, for some inexplicable reason, had to take 30 minutes because there was just nobody there. And then as soon as the person got there, again, it was like less than 5 minutes, like literally maybe 2 minutes, and we were done. So yeah, that's what we're talking about today. That kind of impermanence, right? The kind of impermanence that you like, where you're like, oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness this wait is over. Thank goodness. All right, we're gonna be feeling into that energy. This looks better, but you seem to be having connectivity issues as well. Yeah, remember how I was like, oh, my internet that I paid for is working again. Yeah, I decided that it's actually not working. Connor, Fortune, love is important. This is true. We love you, friend. I don't know if you're one of our Connors, but you could be. Love is true. It's nice having you here. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try and exit out and come back again and see if my internet is like, oh, actually now I'm marginally better. It's totally gonna do that. Let me see. Let me see. Be right back. Oh yes. Better? 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 Tell me it's better. Even if it's not bad. But if I am glued to some expectation, the impermanence seems to be such a hard thing to accept. It's true. Hey, Madala. Madala D Vocals. Hi. It's nice having you here. In the world. In the world. We're talking today about the kind of impermanence that you like. As our beloved Melita has said, that when you find yourself glued to a certain expectation, as she said, impermanence seems to be easier to accept and like if I'm in a flow state, or if I'm okay with things not going according to some plan. But if I'm glued to some expectation, the impermanence seems to be a hard thing to accept. Don't you think, Akash? Don't you think? I think I agree with her. But at the same time, I can't help but understand that it is me who essentially goes into that flow state or into that state of uh, things might not go according to some plan. I don't know if I'm okay with that, to be honest, Sam. TB, completely H. I don't know if I'm okay with things not going to plan. I, in fact, do like it. I really like it when things go to plan. Like I really, really. Like really like it. But unfortunately, right, the things that I'm imagining as it relates to the impermanence is the time it takes for things to go according to plan. Right? It's almost like I'm okay with things going as long as it gets to according to plan. You know what I mean? I hope so. Whew, Connor, I don't know if I have the strength right now. I'm gonna read Joe Poe's message first. Love is a blooming flower in an arid desert. It is the smile in a sea of tears and the warm embrace for the untouched. Remain true to the path of being different and embrace love in a world full of hate. That's beautiful. The world is at war, and it inspired many emotions of discomfort and frustration. Yet I come here to remind myself that there is a small group of loving creatures that still embrace these same tenets. This is why we're here, friends, right? Like us being here. Hey, Melt, that won't stay down. Hey, Melt, that won't stay down. You talking to me? Bet your ass I won't stay down. Beat me down, I'll get up. Beat me down again, I'll get up again. Beat me down a third time, I'll ask, please stop. That hurts. But I'll get up. Bet your ass I'll still get up. I'll just be like, please. Have some rupsy. And again, to just like echo Joe Poe's sentiment, yeah, a war on planet Earth right now. And at the same time, here we are, not at war with one another. How nice is that? Ordinarily, staring into the abyss means something is happening. Are you sure about that? Staring into the abyss for me is more like a kind of coping, like a kind of what the hell is happening, but I'm not gonna vocalize how what the hell is happening I'm feeling. That's abyss staring for me. Right? It's kind of like that blank stare that like that's abyss staring to me. That's what abyss staring looks like. Love is truth. Oh yeah. Or you would have been enlightened. Maybe I am. But maybe I could be. Potentially. You don't know. That tastes so good. Thank you, beloved little seed, for growing into this world. Thank you, beloved grower, for tending to this plant. Thank you, beautiful harvesters, for bringing this plant inside so it may dry. Oh, thank you, transportation, for getting it all the way to me here in this moment. Thank you, Christian, for getting me this bud. So nice. Hey, thank you, Jovan. Oh no. My cap came off. Thank you, Melton friends. Voice in silence. Thank you. Thank you. You that you are, that is here and in the right now. I thank you. I thank you again. Old friend, bless you, Akash. Here are some good advice. Always believe in the Bible. Okay, and never believe in science. All right, yes. Some scientists have been to hell for people believing them. But they are wrong. All right. Okay, no. I think that's the first time I've ever read a message quite like that. We've read messages, kind of, like that. But that one had an extra layer of peculiarity to it. Good advice, always believe in the Bible and never believe in science. Science says that if you combust fuel in a empty, not in an empty, in a enclosed, that's the right word, in an enclosed space, at some point there will be no more oxygen for you to breathe. And I'm sorry to say, but there's no such information in the Bible, but there is that information in science. And if you choose to believe only that which is in the Bible, and you choose not to believe that which is in science, you'll die. You'll straight up go bedeadeth, going like cross eyes, going like sideways, going like people cry looking at you in a box. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm pushing it as hard. Yeah. Yep. How about balance? How about believe in the things like love your neighbor? That's some Bible wisdom, some good shit, isn't it? Right? Love the neighbor, treat others the way you want to be treated. And then also science, right? And you got two hands to hold both. And you got even more up here in the mind. You don't have to conform yourself into one rigid way of thinking. Hot take. Might serve you. You try it out. Somebody's at war. Aren't we all? Aren't we all at war? I think that's why we're at war as a species as well, is that we are battling constantly the part of us that we are and the part of us that we think we are. Right? And we're like, the battle is in that thinking. The battle is in overcoming that thinking. The battle is in thinking correctly. The battle is in not thinking sometimes as well. Right? You might even find yourself very relieved when you get to not think about things too. There she is, talking about our Zhao, saying Jaju and Samala, Bamala, Jamala, and Hoopy Doo, and Nakash, and Mel, and Connor, and Mel, and more. That's you. All of us. There is both truth and lies in all things. Lie is willful deception, isn't it? Technic, Reese? Hey, Google. Still doesn't work. I even updated my OS recently. Oh, yes. There's a part of me on the inside that's screaming right now, and I'm waiting for it to stop. Okay. There's so much re. It's just like, why? Why did you do that? And it's like they don't give me an option to do it differently. They just took it from me. There's no way for me to voice interact with my device without touching it with my meat sticks right now. Right, and that makes me viscerally angry. Makes me want to be a cyborg already. Can I be cyborg, please? Please let me cyborg. Worth needs to be extracted, not blindly believed just because someone said so. I've been thinking about that a lot, Melita. I've been thinking about the whole someone said so fractal. How much of what we believe is someone said so. And how it's refreshing to hear something from someone. And again, it's a someone said so kind of thing. But it's so refreshing to hear something you haven't heard before, or you hear an idea put in a way that registers or connects with you a little bit better. Right? Like that authenticity, you know what I mean? That transcendence of impermanence, maybe as well. Maybe even the impermanence of a moment as it exists, right? Like there are some social interactions that you've probably had with a person or a friend or a family member that felt so in sync, right? So pure, so true to what it was supposed to be. I'm thinking about this one experience I had with Ruda, my brother, where I came back from China after working there for a while. And my brother, I find out in China that he smoked a joint with one of my friends, right? And like this comes to me as an extreme affront, right, to my spirit. I was, no jokes, so offended. I was touched. Like, how dare my brother? Because again, I was the weed smoking brother, and my younger brother, he's like Superman. I mean, more Batman than Superman, but he's like a straight up Batman on our planet right now, right? He hasn't the billions of dollars yet, or the supercars or bat suits yet, but he's getting there, right? So this brother of mine, like, A student, engineer, actual certified or degreed engineer, mechanical engineer, uh, he's like, in my mind, someone that I look up to a lot, right? Like, I have a lot of pride in my brother. So I've always wanted to connect with him in that way because, again, smoking cannabis doesn't take away your ability to perform in life. But I wanted to connect with him in that way. And then I find out he smoked with one of my friends, right? And not me for the first time. And there was just this whole like, so I come back home from China. And of course, I set the intention with him that I want to roll a joint and I would like to smoke it with him. And again, I'm coming back from China at that point, so I haven't smoked anything. And the very first joint that I smoked since being back in South Africa, and this is after like a year's worth of tolerance break because I didn't smoke in China, I smoked this joint with my brother and we just have a normal conversation. And there's no, I want to say significance, but that sounds like I'm almost taking away from how significant the experience was. But there was no real significance to the actual words being spoken. In other words, the words themselves weren't so important that I needed to jot them down so I'll remember them forever. But I remember saying to my brother in that moment, just listening to him, that it's like the first time I ever heard him speak, right? Like, though my whole life I've just been hearing that my brother is now talking. But in that moment, alongside each other, it was like I could actually hear like the spirit of my brother. Like, there was an understanding for that person, right? And their world and in my life that I still haven't had with many people, right? And again, I feel like it was this dichotomy of I try now to listen to people like that from the get go. But he taught me in that moment that you can spend your whole life with someone, right? And again, he's my brother. We grew up together and never actually hear them, never actually hear them. And I did for the first time ever in my life in that moment. And it completely changed our relationship. It completely changed the way we see each other. It completely changed the whole almost like dynamic of our like friendship in this world with one another as well. And I'm so happy that it happened when it did, because it is one of those things that was very much impermanent too. My brother is now in his own world, right? He's working his job. He has his own place, has his own car, has his beloved that he cares for very much. I don't think she watches my streams, but I don't want to give out any information that might be classified, as Batman would say. Oh, I miss him a lot. I wonder how we got there. How did we get there? Maybe in the whole not blinding believing what that someone said because someone said so, right? There wasn't me listening to someone said so. There was just me listening to him. And I think maybe that's what it was as well, right? There's a lot of our communication that happens as a kind of someone said soing, right? Like, you're saying what someone so said instead of saying what you have to say. And I feel that moment and that experience definitely did allow me and him to actually have that freedom of heart, that openness towards one another, to actually have the conversation that needed to be had. And there was apology shared, right? There was apology shared from my place. Of course, like after you tell, and I told him that as well. Again, like, it feels like it's the first time I'm ever hearing you speak. like actually hearing you speak. And saying that to him and like really impressing upon him the experiential shift I had in my heart towards him, right? I could see it shifting something in him as well. And it baffles me that we are capable of stuff like that, right? Like, and again, what I'm saying we're capable of is one, being so stuck in your own story loop that experientially you almost never listen to any other person in your life, right? You don't actually get to hear their story, right? You're so stuck in your own little loop story that you're not hearing. I do like actually, as I'm saying those things about like being stuck in your own loop story, I start remembering what my conversation with him was about, right? When he talked to me and when it felt like I could actually hear him talk for the first time. He was telling me about his life in that moment. Like I actually asked and I wanted to hear from him. And again, we were in a state of openness and vulnerability where we could feel comfortable in talking about our lives, right? From a place of non-judgment, from a place of understanding, to say it in so many words. And again, he was just telling me about his life, about his experiences, about his interaction with other people, about his hopes and dreams, his expectations, his priorities and values, and the specific word that I'm looking for as well. Expectations, of the world. He was talking about his perspective, his story. Everybody is a teacher, right? Like he taught me so much in that night without teaching anything, right? Not technically. He didn't show up there like I'm gonna teach this guy a lesson, right? That wasn't his intent at all. But Jeeps, did I learn a lesson? Did I learn to listen? I still am. I still am learning to listen. I really do try. I really do try. I'm thinking about my mom right now. I listen to her a lot. But I'm thinking in this whole retroactively experiencing all of the listening that has been done, I'm like listening to the part of me that speaks about that listening. And it says, I want to do more to help. Right. And I don't know if that looks like listening. Maybe it does. Maybe more listening is exactly what's necessary. Maybe I need to listen, especially so from that perspective of what's their story. Listen outside of your own ego loop and listen into theirs. Something impermanent. You can't continue doing that indefinitely. But if you can do it for a moment, you might actually feel the other person's heart a lot more accurately. You might get a better snapshot of their soul in that moment. Mel, how dare you use logic in conjunction with religion? Somebody go get that. Why did you specify now in your thanks to me? When else would I be? May your words refresh the religiously minded. I hope so. I am definitely not trying to steer anybody away from religion, right? If anything, maybe just expand. Just widen the aperture. A bit. Right? Get a little bit more of reality in focus. See the bigger picture. uh right, and I feel like that's the thing that kind of like it's like changing settings, right? Some people really like using their camera to take certain kinds of photos with certain kinds of settings, and they're like, oh, and then they're like, oh yes, that looks the way that I expect to for it to look because I've been taking photos like this many times before. And then if you suddenly start messing with their settings, all right, you change the amount of exposure, you change their aperture, suddenly they're getting way different results. Same reality, same them showing up in that moment to take a snapshot and experience, but suddenly way different experientially. Right? And again, I get that. But you at the at the end of the day is the piece of equipment. You are the camera in that analogy. All right. Your brain is the settings. Your attitude is the settings. Your brain is the processor. Is your brain just a processor? That's a loaded question. Is it just a? My mind is going like processor plus antenna. Why am I getting goosebumps saying that? Oh yes, my hair are also antennas. Yes, more. Give me more information. I don't know what to do with that. I see dragons when I close my eyes. Oh, I'm supposed to do dragons. Dragons! Dragons. How did we get here? Sam, I hear some clicking. Not bad. Is anyone else experiencing connective issues? Mine works pretty okay. Have you tried restarting your stream, Sam? I'm gonna start my stream, and then by the time we're both back, maybe it's better. All right, let's see. Yeah, keeps cutting out every 12 seconds or so. I have restarted multiple times, and it ain't shit has worked. Okay, let's see if it's worko nows. I am hope. I am cold as well. No, in fact, I am warm. Yeah. Every single one of my mitochondria, every single one of my brown fat cells are absolutely kicking it right now. They're processing so much ATP. I need to take a bigger breath just then. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to psych myself up, but I also think it's working. My hands are still cold. The hands, especially, are warm. So warm they are. They're still cold. They're getting warmer though. Yeah, there's mine works fine. Okay, I'm happy that your Francis are working fine. Again, let's see. I hope that it did help me restarting again. We usually believe someone we have high respect towards. And oftentimes we are lacking that pure respect towards ourselves to listen to the intuition and feel safe with it. The impermanence of him doing it for the first time, but not first time with you. Smirky smirk. It's true. It's true. You're right. And again, if it was his first time at all with me, maybe he would have been a little bit more underwhelmed by the experience. And then we might not have been able to connect as properly as we did, having had that first time together the way we have, right? Because he, in a way, knew what to expect. And we just had the comfort to have a conversation, right? Something my dad actually said when we had a conversation about the cannabis experience is that and I'm trying to almost like paraphrase it, it was like talking, cannabis comes up as a conversation topic. I say something that goes, cannabis definitely does help me feel a little bit softer in a conversation. And then he replies, yeah, I've noticed that it quiets that part of myself that wants to get my say in as well. And then I was like, huh, that is an interesting observation you've made. That part of us that also wants to get its say in, right? That part of you that sits in the circle of a conversation and then suddenly has this urge arise to be like, oh, I have this thing that I can say about this thing, right? And cannabis can quiet that part of yourself. And in some circumstances, that can be good. In some circumstances, not so much, right? In a circumstance where you actually want to listen to the person you're having a conversation with, it definitely does. Gosh, how honest and open of Melt Prime. Yeah, there's wisdoms. The wisdoms flow. Very deep there, too. I think that maybe, part of it makes it so hard, the impermanence. Listening doesn't process. Maybe sad listening does. So I listen. And then I listen. I think I was thinking about being sad too much. Think Jeddah, right? Yeah, it's nice having you here. I don't think I've seen your name before. What a blessing. If you're a new friend, thank you for joining us. I'm thinking about what you said right too. There are so many things it could be. Meditation is good for health. I can say what you said. Right. Yeah. That's right. That's some good information. Coming back to a state of mindfulness. Right. Then maybe you hear the word meditation. Maybe you see the sentence, meditation is good for health. Maybe it causes you to cringe. Maybe you feel a sense of like, I don't want to meditate, even though it's good for my health. And I feel more often than not, the thing that makes us cringe when we think about meditation is just this whole idea of what we think meditation is supposed to be, how long we think it's supposed to take. What I find meditating is as simple as just taking this moment where you're at, all right? Maybe you're holding a phone in your hand with me on it. Maybe you're seeing me on a computer screen or a TV. But expand just your field of vision and look around. All right, and then start to notice things, almost like find your eye falling on places. All right. And keep doing that, keep shifting your focus. But do try and make a point of focus. And then see if you can notice what it is that you find your focus pointed to. All right. And then if you want to slow it down, you can start telling yourself a story about those things that you find your eyes falling upon. Try and imagine the timeline of what made that thing that you find yourself looking at and how it begot, how it came to be in the first place, where the materials came from, what human will potentially had to move it, make it be where it is. And then after you find yourself almost completing the story, getting to the present moment, you find yourself moving back on again. And then you keep shifting your attention. One very good form of meditation, right? Very, very good form. Another very good form, also very practical, easy to apply, is just breath. Again, we overcomplicate it in our minds. And we think like, oh, there's something to do in meditation, right? There's Zen to get. I need to meditate harder. No. You just have to be mindful of your breath again, right? And again, with the same exercise of you can be open eyes, looking into your environment, still following your gaze, but then pairing it with breath, where the full attention, instead of being like on the thing that you're looking at and then telling yourself a story about it, this time is on your breathing. closed eyes or open eyes. And then you'll find as you go into these deep breaths, deep controlled breaths, and with your eyes open or not, you'll find yourself drifting as an intention. You'll be like, oh, yes, breathing, breathing. Oh, that thing. And then maybe you'll start telling yourself a story about it, or it'll remind you of something, or it'll, steer you into a question. And then if you notice that's happening, again, no shame, no blame, no judgment of yourself. Just be like, oh, I'm doing that thing, a thing, where I think you think. And then you just go, but I'm breathing. You bring yourself back. And in the same way as exercise, every single time you bring yourself back to that state of breath, like actually I'm breathing right now mindfully, instead of being preoccupied mentally, it's like a rep. It's like a muscle that you're training, getting stronger and stronger. So yeah, thank you for the reminder. Think, Jeddah, I need to remind myself as well. Meditating is actually easy. You just have to be mindful. What's up, gang leader? How's it going? I'm doing pretty well. I'm feeling good, Lucy. Think it could have been better. I did go in to get my police clearance from South Africa. They're supposed to take all of my fingerprints. Me fingerprints. I don't know why I did that. I'm so sorry. They want to take my fingerprints and then run it against the databases to see if I am a criminal mastermind. I mean, I guess I would be a criminal dumbass if my fingerprints were all over my crime scenes. So that's what it means technically, yes. If I get my police clearance, and this is a joke, please. I'm playing a bit right now, just full disclaimer. I'm just like padding all of the case scenarios. But if I get my police clearance, it means that I am in fact certified evil genius. Master criminal, because I got away with it. But unfortunately, the people weren't there. People weren't there to take me fingerprints and give me my ETA on police clearancing, so I am wait. They're taking your fingerprints. What are you gonna do without your fingerprints? Dumb, horrifying, I would say actually, Jova. Because there's two case scenarios. One, where they take my fingerprints from me. Like, they cease, my fingerprints cease being on my own fingers. And there's just like these smooth bitty bitties. Which again, big win for me being a criminal mastermind. And then the other case scenario is where they take the tips of my fingers to extract my fingerprints. And that part is more horrifying. That part scares me. Right, so maybe small wins. I hope they give them back though. Play Wuthering Waves with me. I don't know what that means. Wuthering Waves? I think I read that correctly, but I'm so confused. Police clearance takes 1 business month for real. That's fine. I got 95 days to get everything. I mean, I technically got more time than that, but I would like it done. Bet your ass I like it done. Right? Get the impermanence over with and get it into the permanent. Yeah. Technically, I'm not police cleared permanently. I'm only police cleared for 6 months. But yeah, impermanence and getting stuff done. They're taking your fingerprints. Mal commands us to expand. Better. You better expand. In some far future, someone just exploded. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean like that. I didn't mean like that. I didn't know you had superpowers. I'm so sorry. Lux Howard, have you ever seen a UFO? I mean, mine is parked. Mine is parked just over there. It's out of field of vision, but I've seen one. I totally seen one. No, to be honest, Lux, it hurts me to say that I've in fact not actually seen a UFO. Not for lack of trying, I'd like to say. I freaking wish. I beg them. I beg them, please. Please, come on, give me some aliens. Can I have one of those spheres? I saw them online. Please. I'll take anything. I would love the whole little men coming out of spaceship, like and like the fog, and then the middle men's. I would love that, but that would be like the most vanilla aliens we can expect. Be like, this is fine. This is tolerable. We'll probably be able to. Fingers crossed. I mean, if they figured out maybe not interdimensional, maybe interdimensional, but if they figured out interplanetary travel, then surely they have some sort of translation tech. Maybe they are pure energy. There we go with the whole interdimensional. I think they probably are. And in that way, they're already here. They're right here. This one's making fun of me. Stop. Maybe that one was making fun of me. Maybe that's just their way of being endearing. Like love, just higher vibrations. I mean, again, Lux, the experiences that I've had, you can call them, you can call them, if you wanted to, if you felt so inclined, hallucinations. However, they were very vivid and very clear. And that clarity communicated to me a level of complexity. Yeah, you were very, very on the dot. Look at you, Lux. You know your stuffs. Yeah, that experience, a divine moment of thought, illuminated to me that there is complexity in realms of energy, right? In the realms of spirit that my human mind cannot fathom. And the level of complexity that we are a part of as this whole, you suddenly appreciate with a very high definition of certainty how simple things are here, right? How simple something like this moves to this hand, right? It's like that level of simplicity is very satisfying after you've had a moment like that. And again, the whole fractal of like, I've really like literally begged the aliens. I beg the aliens all the time to like come and visit me. Be like, come on. I just want some alien tech, to be honest. Maybe that's why they don't come. They're like, this guy just wants freaking gadgets. We know this guy. He doesn't want to talk. He just wants freaking cool stuff. It's like, I kind of do want cool stuff. Come on. They're like, no, bro. You'll conquer the planet if we give you our cool stuff. I know, please. Please. Please, sir, aliens. Please. I'll be a good conqueror. I'll be the best, says every conqueror ever. Maybe we are alien tech. I mean, if the like canon universe of what Alien and Morpheus and the Predators are to be believed, yes, we are alien tech. And again, if you do look at our DNA, technically, it had to be around longer than the planet was life-sustaining. Did you know that? Still a little bit crack theory-ish, but technically, our DNA is older than the planet we're on, or at least older than the habitability of the planet that we're on. In other words, we probably, as the tech that is DNA, came from somewhere else. And I love thinking about stuff like that. I do. I just wish I knew. That's the big thing. That's the part that I don't love. I wish I had like time machine travels. Just let me travel. I don't need to interfere. Fine, I won't interfere. But I would like to see. Is seeing interfering? I mean, if quantum mechanics is to be believed, yes. So that's probably why I can't. Fine. Again, the aliens are letting me know why they're not here. They're like, yeah, bro, you're crazy. We avoid your kind specifically. You're the kind of guy that just starts pushing buttons on our spaceship when we abduct you. We keep your kind outside. Oh, let me come back to chat. They use your fingerprints as an identifier. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's true. We can travel in our mind, but something is holding us back. I don't even think something's holding us back, other than the fact that we are still embodied. Yes. My third eye is illuminate. We are embodied, right? So suddenly, me moving this flesh vehicle, I can notice stuff like that, right? And it can affect me. It can affect me. And it's the same thing, hey, Big James, it's the same thing just to the extreme when you have a body, right? Again, astral projection is a thing. But when you astrally project, your body is vulnerable, literally by definition. Like the thing that is you suddenly is in cosmic hyperspace instead of inside yourself as this thing. I also have a YouTube channel. Nice, Big James. We're very lucky to live in this age. Why you remove the old haircut? Malek, sometimes change. Sometimes haircut impermanent. Sometimes impermanence good. To give it to you in few words were good. So why use many words? So yeah, again, Lux, astral projection does have an element of danger, right, to the physical form. So we limit ourselves. It's kind of the reality of the situation. We are still embodied in these flesh prisons. It's a little bit rough calling them flesh prisons. I don't even believe even it's a flesh prison. More lab. I think that's my favorite. We had like the whole talking about cameras and mine stops working. It's more like it could be like seen as a camera, right? Where you have these sensitivities to absorb, take an image with this universe as the self. But I think lab is probably my favorite way of seeing the human body. Is that you are this laboratory, right? And again, laboratories also have equipment with sensors, very fine sensors, and your sensors are very fine, right? Because again, a camera just takes an image. You take an image and you have sounds and you have tastes and you have smell and you have sensations that you can feel with, and then you have neurons and you have receptors in said neurons. Hey, Enzo, it's nice having you. And then you have receptors in muscles and in your smooth lined like tissue and in your organs. And all of those receptors can also receive information. Right, laboratory. And then again, laboratories sometimes make chemicals. And so do you. Do you know how many chemicals you're making right now just to sustain this moment? You'd be baffled. Can you shout me out so I can heal my sadness? Enzo. Enzo sing. Be shouteth outeth and let your sadness melt. Yeah. Imagine it like an eggshell. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Like an eggshell that just like cracks and falls off of you. Suddenly, the unsadded Enzo Singh arises from the eggshells. You feel better? Sure hope so. I fucking tried hard, bro. You better feel better just like, even if it's out of pity for me, dude. Hi, Chriselle. You're a cool guy. I am a mirror to you, Big James. I am only as cool as you are proportionally to me. Right? And I do believe that. Thanks, bro. You were blessed, Enzo. Love is true. That's like my whole mantra for this space. It is, right? That means to me, and I hope that it can translate to you, that no matter what you're going through right now, love is true, all right? You wouldn't continue experiencing life if love wasn't true. You wouldn't be experiencing life right now if love wasn't true before. All right. So stick around and love will get to continue. Movement is movement, is physically, is not astrally spoken, you speak. Yes, of course. Shout it out. I'm happy you like that, Melita. Love is true. How old are you and which country? I am 27 years old, living in South Africa right now. Next time you ask, I might have different answers. Zoom, 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 zoom. Hold the image. See it come into manifestation. That's the power of the mind. Go on thinking, doing, go on living. This is true. Love, love, love. I'm looking for the day when it translates. Where it translates to what? When the understanding translates? I know that YouTube recently let me know that apparently my streams are now auto-dubbed. I don't know if it works for these ones though, but apparently other people speaking different languages can hear me speak as well. I have $50 and I'm thinking to give it to you. Unless you need that $50, Big James, give it to yourself. All right. Like, I'm okay with that too. I have $50. Do you have more than $50? Like, that's the thing that I'm thinking about. Like, if I'm taking your last $50, I wouldn't sit well with me. I'm not buying Melt. Well, I'm sorry to say, bro, but you've been paying this whole time, paying so much attention. Yeah. Height, I am 2 meters 40 centimeters. All right, like I have to bend down when I go inside buildings by a lot. I basically like go squatting, right? I do like one of those frog walks when I go in buildings. This is the perfect time to say I'm not buying Melt. That's the part to not buy. I got it from gambling. So I'm good. Somehow. Like I can gamble when I'm a child. Yeah. Big James, if you're planning on gambling the rest of it, absolutely give it to me. I don't gamble. Yeah, you can give. All right. There's no gambling happening on this side. Like spinning thing and then money gone. And then being like, maybe if I spin thing again, because money gone previous time, money get this time, spin again, money gone. Well, now my odds of spinning money, get money, even better because money spin, lose twice. More money lose. It's like, I can now, like that drives me insane just thinking about it for a split second. Oh, I'm gonna calm down. Love is true. Sometimes I feel like I am. Did I miss context? I'm restarting or checking all messages. That's the part I'd pick for you to chew on. I'm just more confused. Have you ever done a backflip on a trampoline? Does that count? I think it counts. I'll say so myself. 72 from gambling last night. 20 and the 72. You're 20 years old and you made $72 gambling. I see that sports betting is like a big thing in the States these days. Big thing. Holy shit. People are spending atrocious. I mean, not just spending, gambling, atrocious amounts of money, losing atrocious amounts of money, winning back atrocious amounts of money, right? And there's just this state in me of like if I see one, like for example, right? I can't even remember the context of this. Think it was someone who does restoration work or something like that. But while he's doing his restoration work, he's like traveling or something, and then during these travels he'll be gambling. I'm trying to like remember this person, but for some reason I think it's pulling blanks. I'm trying to remember the name, and it's like right there on the cusp of my memory of like I can see it like a blurry kind of in the distance, the name. I'm like, anyway, right? Where he'll just like show on his channel while the video is going on. And again, he has like millions of viewers on his channel as well. So there's like millions of people seeing this stuff. And I can't help but think, how is that affecting people? Where he'll show himself gamble. So $725, maybe that doesn't sound like too much money to you, but to give you like a frame of reference, that's about 2 to 3 months of South African minimum wage, right? I'm earning basically that much right now as well with the stuff that I'm doing. So like it's like 2 to 3 months of people's lives, right? That's the way that I see it. That's just being like put on a wager. It's like, yeah, let's see. Maybe I get 3 months back, but I'm wagering these 3 months, right, of human life essentially on this sports game, on my sports team winning, then win money. And I'm like, and then again, right, like sometimes they lose, but sometimes they win. And then I find myself in the space of like you lose $725 once, and like I'm never touching something like that again. I'm like, oh hell no. Hell to the hell no, to the no. Like how much money is being lost? How much money is being stolen? I can't even imagine. I don't know if I want to imagine. Like it's making my eyes twitch, literally. I lungs this channel. I lungs this channel too. Long. I says I meant heart this channel. Those were lungs. Well, I knew that, and I still read I lungs this channel. It's perfect. Take a deep breath to lungs this channel. If you lungs this channel, breathe. Wow, all of you. Wow, my heart. All right, it's time for us to come to a close. Big James, it's nice having you here, friend. If you want to support my work, which I'm more than open to you doing, go and check out my Patreon. Big James, I make art. I'll show you one of my little pieces right now. Right, for as little as $1, right? No gamble. No gamble. You pay $1, you get access to all of my flowers. Right? At this point, 1,269. Nice. Individual different flowers, right? And you might like, what does that number even mean? It's like that number. It's like that much. It's like you get access to all of that. All right. That is, I'm going to give you the exact numbers. How dare you? Freaking mosquito. You will be slain. Tell your friends. I'm fine. I am breathing. I'm looking for the exact folder. I think I can check. Let me just click on this. There we go. Yes, knowing how to use computer still doesn't do it right sometimes. Sometimes make mistake. Sometimes learn quickly. There we go. Now I can tell you. There, now I'm gonna click more details. There you go. For $1, you get 45.51 gigabytes worth of information available to your eyeballs. Technically, it might be lower resolution on the actual Patreon. if you're so lucky. But if you get to be here close up, I'll get you full definitions. 45 gigabytes. Just my flowers is 45 gigabytes. That's a lot. If you don't know, that's like a close to AAA game. AAA games these days are like 150 megabytes or gigabytes, which is still absurd. All right, but it's just wild to me that those little flowers are so much. How do you make so much money? How do I make so much money? That's sick. Did you go and check out my Patreon and you saw how much money I make and then you're asking how much money I make? Or are you just asking me how do I make so much money in general? I'm going to take it as like a manifestation moment. I show up. I think that's the best answer I can give. I show up every single day. I haven't had a break or a technical vacation away from work in like over 4 years. Right? So I get paid the big bucks. Never vacation, extra pay. That's how it works. That's exactly how it works. Damn it. You're going to support the Patreon. I'm going to do triple backflip. I'm going to catch that iguana on my wall. I was about to say that kitty. Can you see her? Yeah, I'll move the camera a little bit. That kitty was sitting on that fence line. Look at her now, on top of shtick. Why, you ask? I'm trying to make zoom. Look at that kitty. Like, how is that a comfortable spot to be on? Like, imagine the dexterity to get yourself up there. Get it. Sitting on the perch, being like, yes. I witness from above. I'll come down on the rats like the angel of death. Switch it back and forth. All right. Mm. Why do you make your titles in past tense? Because by the time you read it, it's already in the past. All right. By the time the video is titled and you get to click on it, it's the past. And if you click on it in the moment, then I might have already talked about the thing that I said I was going to talk about. And then you might have to ask me to recap you potentially, or already figure out that this is kind of what Melt is talking about, or have started talking about, and then maybe you can figure out how I got to where I'm going. Hunting is not generally comfortable. No. No part of it is comfortable. It stinks. It's hot, usually, in the hunting season. It's heavy, it's burdensome if you have to carry your kill. It's treacherous. You might have to walk through thick bushes. You might get bitten by snakes. You might have to walk literal kilometers. And then it might also be boring, more uncomfortable. Is it? It is if you bring enough weed. Yeah, I don't know if those two really go well together, but I haven't tried. Like the last time I went hunting, I was 9. So I'll excuse myself. Oh, them all look so cute. All of those flowers together. It is nice seeing them, kind of like in a mosaic like that. Right, Mel? It looks like a micro square quilt. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna ask Melt, can we get a tasty screenshot of that with all the little flowers all together like that? I mean, like I can do this quickly for you. I'm gonna go like click. No, this is the bigger one. Okay, there we go. Click. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Horish, isn't it? hope you're ready for a disgustingly large image as well, but I did it. That's what it looks like. uh, where are you going? Now I'm angry. How fucking dare you? Well, there's it be. My life materially things into flowers. Interesting to see those blue curves going up there. You would think I would be having more blue up there, actually. Interesting. How big is this image? Also 28 megabytes. I'm going in. I'm moving in the 4th grade. I thought you said you were 20, bro. You're a 4th grader. Even more yikes-obo bikes-o. Why can 4th grader scambles? How is that possible? And the fact that you're winning money, I think that's the part that hurts me the most. Not that I don't want you to win money. I want you to win all the money. But the fact that you did might make you believe that you can. And that's the part that skizzes me. It makes me scared. I'm sorry, I should have been more specific. I was just after a segment to make a cool background photo. Ah, yes. Sorry. I tismed. And I was like, oh, you want screenshot? Bet. I'll give you a screenshot. You want screenshot? I'll give you. Now it's like a matter of like, is it that kind of tile depth or, please, that kind of tile depth? All right. Can you not resist me? Yeah. Stop it. Frickin' mosquitoes. Huh? Huh? Thanks, buddy. They're so pretty. I asked, which one do you want? You want big ol' schmalons? You want still small but 9 in a row? You want even smaller? I'm informations. I work for a casino, can confirm when you spin a slot wheel, the result is predetermined. Promises the odds are very much so not in your favor. Yeah, that's what I meant as well, Joe. Thank you for adding to that echo. I like this one of the smallest squares. Thank you, Sam. Good. One day you're gonna become very famous. I'm already very famous. I'm just not well known. A part of me knows what joke I just made, but I don't. All right, I now got me instructions. I will take off the smallest one. You might still be like reeling about what did I just say? What joke did I try and make? Oh, jeeps, I did something wrong. I basically made a joke about like famous means that you're known by people, and to you friends, I'm known. All right, I'm as famous as I've ever wanted to be, if that makes sense. Right? Famous to me means that someone knows who I am when they basically engage in a conversation. Right? People from the art band days, literally years ago, join our stream here and go, "Oh yeah, you're MeltMore." Right? That to me is basically famous. I'm like, what more can I want? What more can I want? However, the wealth and riches, one day, one day, and hopefully soon, and definitely something we can do. I look forward to changing the world with you, friends. For the best. Making the world a good place for our kids and those of our friends. I am making some crop to make perfect. Yes. Nay. Nay, nay, nay. Not like so. Yes. I save. Six megabytes. Is 8 megabytes the limit on Discord? I hope it's 8 megabytes. I'll share my work. Please tell me 8 megabytes the limit. Yay! It's sending. Information delivered. I don't know if it's going to be HD. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. We're live again. Nice. Small blip in connectivity. I'm not sure about that one, Sam, but I know it's hard to find clocks on the casino floor. Oh, yeah. Is it also true that the machines just outside the casinos are programmed to pay out more frequently? The ones that people might, go to first, I'm imagining. I like the ones with the smaller squares. One day you're going to be famous. Thank you. One day you're going to be very famous. I appreciate that, Big James. Manifesting. Yes. Yes. Like I think about what very famous means and it kind of terrifies me. Do I want to be? Just the right amount of famous, yes. I want to be like, and when I say just the right amount of famous, that to me means that I'll have people that are interested in my work. And that will be like one layer. And then the second layer will be like people would be willing to have me over to make like custom pieces for their homes, right? That's the level of famous I want to be, right? And then I want to just like be able to travel the world going and making art for people. I don't want more than that. Is that too much to ask for? I'm going to keep asking. This is where I withdraw, feeling the journey of self-discovery. Thank you for the time that you spent here with us. I appreciate your time. It's all is grist for the mill, as Ramdas would say. Oh yeah, that seems to work. They seem to work really hard at making casino and gaming spots timeless, like no concept of the passage of it, so you just keep going from machine to machine. Yeah, time is an illusion when you could be paying. All right, that's kind of like the whole idea, the whole game changer with like these devices as well. When we were just like using minutes, they could only sell 1 minute to us in a minute. And then as soon as we started using data, they like opened a whole new can of worms. Suddenly they could sell more to us than this second could hold. Get what I'm saying? Yeah. I appreciate you, friends. My fingers are cold now. So I'm going to show you a flower, and then I'm going to say you a goodbye. But only after I read you a poem. Okay? Sound fair? You want to see? This is what it looks like. Time is an illusion. Time is a construct, a human construct. Like the idea of certain words being bad. It doesn't have to just, if you don't want it to. I actually had that conversation with one last night. Again. That breathes over your shoulder. That makes you rush just a little bit so that you actually get done doing the thing. Time is a coordinate. I like that too. Time is a dimension. How about that one? Time is another dimension. Yes. Stop looking at my face. Thank you. Yes. I am holding portal to fractal. What's that? What's happening in there? Can you see that? What's happening there? Oh, yes. Discovery. Okay. Done. Time for poem. Then for goodbye. And then for tomorrow. Ah. Man. Multiple absolute banger flowers in a row. Also, the colors in Pennsylvania Dutch Hex. Pennsylvania Dutch Hex. Ooh, I think I saw it. There are many of them here, but I'm guessing this is what he's talking about. These are very cool, but I am biased, and I believe mine are cooler. Because I get to. Nobody else is going to believe it for me, right? I just checked out those hexes you talked about as well. Mine definitely are a little bit more psychedelic. I appreciate you shouting out the love you have for them. It's so fun sharing pretty things with beautiful people. You know what I mean? That's you. Thou shalt not spam the chat, Big James. Thou shan't. Less the swing of the big blue spanner cometh down upon ye head, bunking ye out of simple existence and into the void where you have no mouth, but you must scream. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna read you the poem now, okay? I can do that. Enough unk. I did that on purpose. It is true. Like I was clearing my throat and then I was like, I need to I still feel like I need to add some more phlegm. I'm fine. I'm fine. I was around a bunch of sick people again today. My sister is sick. She was coughing in the car. There were sick people in the places I had to stand in waiting for my paperwork as well. I'm fine. I'm not getting sick. I'm completely healthy, but I might be in a funk. That is what this poem is about. It's not a storm, but the sky feels heavy. Not a fall, but the ground feels far. Nothing's broken, no drama, no blaze, just the buzz of meh that won't go away. The body moves, but with half its fire. The mind spins stories, but none inspire. You breathe, you've slept, the sun's in the sky, still something inside just won't rise. No name to blame, no reason why, just a fog that lingers as hours slide by. And that's okay. Not every moment has to shine. Some are meant to dim the light just so you can find it again. Not in the world, but from within. So breathe. Don't rush the fix. There's wisdom in this quiet glitch. You're not lost. You're just between, not broken, just becoming something yet unseen. I appreciate ye. No need for sorry. Instead, switch to a feeling of thanks. Thanks for sharing space. Indeed. Thanks for not spamming the chat into indefinitely. For only doing so a little bit. We appreciate that. Yo! Secret hacker. What's this about? It's about, today at least has been, that feeling of thank goodness in the face of impermanence, right? When something is over, maybe you put yourself in a really hurty stretch and you're like, you're breathing like that and stuff. And then you get out of that stretch and you're like, oh thank goodness. Right? That kind of energy. We haven't been talking about the stretches directly, but it's just like one more little capsule of like thinking about this conversation. We've talked about a bunch, as that topic continued spiraling out into infinity. Hippie shiz, as our beloved Sam says. That's what this is about. But it was nice having you here. I have come to the end of today's stream in Technomicries. So if you want to see me again, subscribe. I do one every day, and we'll be here again tomorrow. I appreciate you, friends. I'll see ya tomorrow again. Goodbye now. Mwah. Love you, friends. Cheers.